Namaskaram. Life after 50 is not just about aging. It is actually about facing parts of ourselves that we've ignored over so many years of our life. And this is especially true for women like myself and many others that I have met along the way who go through the same kind of issues in life. And this can be very unsettling and also uncomfortable to deal with. But at the same time can be very freeing as well if we do the right things. Now, I know this because I myself have gone through this journey and I have had to figure out who I am inside after playing so many roles over decades of my life and coming to that peaceful state within by making that inward journey. Welcome to my channel, VPK Nutrition Integrative Wellness. In today's episode, I'm going to cover the joys and challenges of life after 50. Yes, there are several joys that I'm going to be sharing. And at the same time, we will talk about some practical ways in order to make this phase of your life a beautiful place to be, to find that inner peace and joy. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Aging is a natural part of our life. We all get old, and again, aging is mainly for the body. So the body is not able to do the things that it was able to do before, so we have to accept that. However, mind is still the same. We still have the same desires, desire for relationships, connections, and daily life as well. So, naturally, there's a mismatch between the two, the body and the mind, and this causes frustration and sometimes causes a lot of drain in our emotions. And we also don't have the bandwidth to do a lot of the things that we were able to do before easily. In our scriptures, this stage is called the Vanaprastha stage, and this is the time to slow down and make that inward journey and find that peace from inside, not from the external environment. So this is slowly withdrawing from the external world and finding that inner joy through scriptures, through spirituality, spiritual practices, etc. This is clearly outlined. However, we live in a modern world, and in the modern world, this is not really that simple, especially living in the West or having that Western influence. We are still managing a lot of the responsibilities. We are also having to deal with a lot of the day-to-day problems of life. So, and people are living longer and longer as well. So this phase is also extending quite a bit. So how do we navigate through all of this without losing that enthusiasm that we once had? Although you might have achieved a lot during the Grahastha stage of life, still you are longing more now for the inner world to get richer. So in today's episode, I wanted to show you how to navigate that in a very practical and meaningful way. Let us be first honest about the challenges. After the age of 50, many people undergo a lot of challenges. Number one is health issues. That's a big thing. We face a lot of chronic illnesses today, and especially with the lifestyle that we live, the fast lifestyle, these things become chronic. Number two, many children leave their homes, so people face the emptiness syndrome, and some people have difficulty dealing with that phase of their life, letting go. Number three, a sense of loneliness because of what I just mentioned, and also a loss of purpose, especially if you were doing a lot of things for all these years and suddenly you don't know what your path is. Number four, if you have retired, then again, you lose that sense of purpose, and also you might feel invisible because you're not getting that external validation. Number five, many people care for their elderly parent. Now again, people are living longer and longer, so that becomes a real challenge as well, especially when you yourself are physically limited, then you have to care for somebody older than you, or sometimes people have a sick spouse that they need to care for. So these are all some real challenges that people face once you start going into the 50s and of course 60s and 70s and so on. And this can feel a little bit daunting, heavy, emotionally draining, and exhaustion just takes over. But that's not all. There are also a lot of joys coming from this age, this stage of our life. And I have faced so many of those joys, and I wanted to share that as well. So it's not all bad. There are some good things as well. So what are some of these joys? Number one, we have more free time. Free time to do things that we never had the chance to do before. Number two is freedom to explore hobbies and creativity. Number three, a deeper connection with spirituality. You have the time now to read scriptures or listen to discourses, whatever you had no time to do before. Number four, letting go of things that don't serve you anymore. And this also starts with downsizing. So you have a smaller area to manage and also a smaller community that you can connect with, things like that. Number five, most importantly, you have time to make that inward journey, that spiritual retreat or the spiritual refinement within that we need to bring out that peace and joy that's already within us. For me, this has been my biggest transformation. No matter how much I've had to serve over the decades of my life, yes, physically, I don't have the bandwidth to do a lot of those things. However, having worked through a lot of these things over the years, I have found a certain amount of peace and joy within, which I never thought possible. Of course, it takes work to do this, and you have to have the right tools. And that is what I'm going to share today. If it's something that helped me, and I hope a lot of this stuff will help you as well. The question now is, how do we overcome some of the challenges that I mentioned and find that joy in a practical and meaningful way? I'm going to share some simple tips to do this. Number one, create a daily routine. Now, daily routine also should be based on the Ayurvedic principles, which is like going with the rhythms of nature. And I have shared a detailed video about this in an episode called Dosha Clock, and I will put the link in the description. So if you have a daily routine every day for your meal times, for your activities, etc., it'll give you a structure, it'll give you some grounding, and you'll feel very balanced and you won't have any anxiety. Number two, do something for your body, mind, and spirit every single day. This could be very simple, something like taking a walk in nature, enjoying the beauty around you, journaling your joys, maybe a joyful memory that you have, something to journal or gratitude journal. That is great for the mind, keeps your mind happy, and at the same time, doing some meditation or pranayama, things like that are very good for spiritual health as well. Remember, consistency is the key. So this is something you need to do every day so you feel nourished from within. Number three, take up a hobby. It could be art, music, it could be learning a new language, new skill, whatever it is. It can give you a lot of joy and enthusiasm to go on. And because our mind is still very active and it feels nourished when you do these kinds of things. Number four, read scriptures or read the stories of saints, teachers, mentors, or people who you really admire in life. And this will, although the body is always aging, the mind will stay inspired. Last but not the least, and probably the most important, is set boundaries without the guilt. Now, this is especially true for women who have been serving people their whole life, and for them to say no is very difficult to do. But when you say yes and work with resentment, that actually takes a toll on your physical body, your mental and emotional body, and eventually your whole body feels exhausted and drained. So this is a very important thing that we need to start practicing. And it's not just for women. I think a lot of men have the same issues, especially grown up in a culture like India. I can relate to this, and many others can as well. But it's also our generation has been brought up that way, to adjust and go along with everything without taking, and we felt like it is selfish to say, I want to do something. But really, this is more about self-care so you can be healthy at all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And once you find that balance within, you can actually have better relationships with others. So this is really, initially it might feel very uncomfortable to do, but you have to start practicing this at this stage in life so you feel less tired and more enthusiastic about life. So you need to start learning how to say no, honor your energy, and make that inward journey towards peace and happiness. In essence, this stage of your life is not about decline, but it is more about refinement and finding that true freedom, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally, so you can reach your highest potential possible. The Vanaprastha stage is the stage where you allow life to happen, see the unfolding of life without judgment, and an opportunity to give guidance to those who seek guidance from you. Again, do not give unsolicited advice, but if somebody seeks guidance from you, this is a great opportunity because you have gained a lot of wisdom over the years from your own life and your own lessons. So I hope you found this helpful. If it resonated with you in some way, please put some comments in the comment section. I love to read those. Again, as always, listen to your body, observe your mind, and heal yourself. And I will see you again with another episode. Thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful week ahead.